Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia City Council meeting. This is a regularly scheduled council meeting. I will call this meeting to order. Today's date is August 11th, 2020. It's Tuesday. The time is 4 p.m. This is a time change for the council meeting due to the primary election. Pam, would you please take our roll call?
Try that again, Pam.
Roll call, please, Pam.
Marable,
Absent.
Friedlieb,
Present.
Beyondich,
Present.
Johnson,
Here.
Maranzelli,
Turn on your mic, answer. Turn on your mic.
Martinzelli here.
Mayor Cuffey,
Present, thank you. Pam, for your information, we have Brian Silber, our Park and Rec Director, in the audience today. Mr. Wirtz, the project manager from Kraus Anderson for the MEC project. We have our city attorney, Brian Lindsay, present. And the rest of our staff is also here. Of course, our city administrator, Britzi Bennis, Sheer Erickson, our finance HR director. And also, we have two presenters today. We'll make an announcement when we come to the table from Revive Virginia. It will be Betsy Olivanti and Sean Herhusky. Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to item 4 on the agenda, which is a public forum. This is an opportunity for anyone from the audience or from the general public that would like to come and address the council this evening. This is your opportunity to do so. Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to address the council today? Seeing none, we'll move to item 5, the consent agenda. The following items will be enacted by one motion unless a councilor or the citizen of the City of Virginia requests that the item be considered separately. Item 5.1 is the approval and corrections of the minutes of the regular meeting that was held on July 28, 2020. Item 5.2, adopt Finance Resolution Number 20-014, the schedule of bills. Item 5.3, approve online training for the following. Item 5.3A, Pamela Bean, our city clerk, to attend the Zoom meeting for the Anthean Dialogue Todos Reflection at a cost of $25. And item 5.3B, Jason Picard, police officer, to attend the webinar Criminal MAPP Street Cop Training at a total cost of $175. Item 5.4 is approve the transient merchant's license for Nancy Kwiatkowski, doing business as Jew's Walk and Roll Kitchen. Item 5.5, approve pay estimate number 2 for the MEC project to Kraus Anderson in the amount of $172,528.91. And item 5.6, approve pay estimate number 2 for the Ewens Field redevelopment project to Kraus Anderson in the amount of $804,550.47. These are the consent agenda items that are on for approval today, and I'm looking for some council action. Councilor
I will
Johnson.
move the consent agenda.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the consent agenda. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Beyondich and Councilor Paulson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, appearances. Revive Virginia under item 6.1 regarding a request to conduct a food truck festival on September 12th, 2020. And we welcome from Revive Virginia, Mr. Sean Herkusky and Betsy Olivanti. Good evening, or actually good afternoon, and welcome to the council meeting. It is.
Please, thank you.
Awesome. So thank you so much for welcoming all of us today. We were just kind of brainstorming a way to get some folks into downtown a little bit and support our local businesses and things like that. And we were, with all of our events being postponed right now, we were looking for things that we could do really outside and in the open air and that would stay within the 250 limit, Britt?
Yes, yes.
Of folks. And Sean had seen a food truck festival with some popularity down in Duluth at the zoo. And so we kind of tossed around the idea and realized that we could really space them out and also encourage all of our downtown businesses that serve food to have sort of a specialized menu for that night to get some stuff out. And so we were hoping to take advantage then of the Bridge Days, September 12th date that we have had sort of floating around. We can't necessarily do the runs and all those kinds of things that we've done in the past, but maybe something like this would work. So we thought we would propose it and ask for some support from the city. Some reduced fees, I believe, for the folks for the food trucks, so that we can try and make this worth their while to see if we can get something started.
Sure, thank you. Any questions, comments from the council? Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this is a really good idea for the downtown area and letting the other businesses know too that they could maybe put something out on the sidewalk. It's been a long time since we've had sidewalk days, but it might be an opportunity to put a small table out. I think this is a great idea, and I guess we would need eventually a plan, there goes my mouse, a plan for what it's going to look like so that we can be speaking with the fire department and the police department, public safety. But I would move to authorize the staff to work with Revive and come up with the plan so that we can get this moving. And then if there's any other further authorization, take that when that comes up.
Moved by Councilor Johnson to approve the request from Revive Virginia to establish a food truck festival, for the lack of a better term, which is tentatively.
Exactly what we'd call it.
Yeah, it's technically scheduled for September 12th, 2020. That could change if you determine, but the motion is to work with staff and to accomplish that and work out a plan to bring back to the council. Is there support?
I'll support. I'll support.
Support by Councilor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Paulson, do you have anything?
Nope, I'm just really excited, and thank you, Betsy and Sean, for putting this together.
Sean's idea. He just makes me talk.
You're doing such a fabulous job. I didn't want to take that away.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Excellent. Perfect. We have some time to organize everybody else around it.
Thank you. We'll move to item 7, which is unfinished business. Item 7.1 is adopt the resolution for the transfer of city interest in parcel code number 090-0010-11801 to the Holy Spirit Church. This is the second reading. And this is
I'll
the,
move the second reading.
thank you. Councilor Paulson moves to approve the transfer of the property in the second reading for the resolution. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Councilor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8, discussion items. 8.1 is adopt the resolution ordering the emergency removal of hazardous conditions located at 721 11th Street North in Virginia.
We have a little bit more detail of what,
thank you.
what it is and where it is.
Yes, 721 11th Street North was the house that had the fire on July 5th. It was brought down to rubble, and the rubble still sits.
Thank you. I will move the resolution.
Thank you. Counselor Johnson moves the resolution forward. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8.2, adopt a resolution ordering the removal of hazardous conditions located at 1402 11th Street South in Virginia.
Another firehouse.
Same scenario.
This one was still standing, however, but
I'll move the resolution.
Thank you. Counselor Johnson moves the resolution. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Freelieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.3, approve the following election judges for 2020. Stephen Kwinsinski, Sandra Heselius, Christian Krantz, and Jacob Lidler. Apparently are already on the job.
I will move the hiring of the election judges for 2020.
Thank you. Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8.4, a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting that was held on August 3rd, 2020. Item 8.4A, approve the variance request for Casey Aluni, 1216 20th Street South, for a 280 square foot variance to the required 1,000 square foot for an accessory building in order to build a new 1,280 square foot garage.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Freely. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And with the council's approval, I would like to add 8.5, a topic to the agenda. And I apologize, it couldn't be placed on the agenda because I just got the call about 25 minutes ago. And it's related to the request regarding cruise night. As you know, they're not going to have they're just going to have the cruise on Friday night, not the car show on Saturday. And what a couple of the bar establishments is requesting for this Saturday is to be allowed to have alcohol on the sidewalk. They've done that before. They're asking not on the public street, but along the sidewalk area to see if they can, people can practice social distancing and not being, trying to comply with the governor's order and have some things outside and maybe even having a couple chairs and tables out there on the sidewalk during this event. So I advised the three owners of these bars who had one representative call me, and I said, I told them I would bring this up at the city council for discussion. So is there any discussion or looking for some council action with that in that regard? So Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Don't we already have as part of our emergency order, the ability to follow, if they follow proper procedure to do that? So that already exists. They just need to get a hold of, I'm guessing, Britt or Pam to fill out the proper paperwork. Is that correct? So they just need to call Britt or Pam and we can make that happen because we already passed that emergency order several months ago, if I remember right. Thank you.
And I just wanted to bring it up for the council so you're all aware that this request came forward. So thank you. So we'll direct those bar owners to contact Britt C. Benison staff to arrange for that. Thank you. Okay, item 9, committee reports. I'll just take the first one, item 9.1, the special committee of the whole personnel meeting that was held on Monday, August 3rd, 2020. There was one item on the agenda, and that was to determine the hiring of our new Public Works Director. As everyone is aware, or maybe not aware, that our longtime Public Works employee and our Public Works Director, Ed Alto, has decided to leave that position, and so we had to conduct an exhaustive search for a new Public Works Director. There was a committee of 3 counselors and staff that met and conducted the interviews, and based upon their recommendation, and the recommendation for the rest of the, at the committee of the whole meeting, was to adopt a resolution to hire Mr. William Hennis as the new Public Works Director on or after August 11th, 2020. I'm looking for action from the council.
I'll move that hiring, please.
Councilor Freely moves to approve the hiring of Mr. William Hennis as the new Public Works Director. Is there support? Support by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I would ask that we put the following, with Bill moving to the different department, that be put on the next committee of the whole of what the plan will be to restructure as we're going to. I would ask that be put on the next agenda so that we can start working on that right away.
And staff will do so. Thank you for that request. Councilor Johnson will look to backfill those positions and determine what we're going to do as an organization. Thank you. It's moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9.2, the committee of the whole meeting that was held on Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. I'll turn this portion of the city council meeting over to our city administrator, Britt C. Bennis. Britt?
On August 4th at the Committee of the Whole meeting, we had a presentation from Kevin Poffs of the Fire Department, who discussed the need to purchase a new ambulance. They had received a CARES Act grant specific for the ambulance to allow for this purchase. However, the amount they had received was $250,000, and the actual estimate is $257,690. But it was moved and supported at the Committee of the Whole meeting to allow the purchase of the 2020 Ford F-550 4x4 ambulance in the amount of $257,690 from Premier Specialty Vehicles.
And the majority of that will come out of our CARES Act money?
There's a separate CARES Act grant for that.
It's a separate CARES Act grant. Thank you, Britt.
$7,690 will come out of the city's ambulance fund.
Excellent. Thank you. We're looking for council action.
I will move the purchase.
Purchased, moved by Councilor Johnson to adopt the resolution approving the purchase of the 2020 Ford F-550 ambulance in the amount of $257,690 from Premier Specialty Vehicles. Is there support? Support by Councilor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We had a lengthy discussion with the Evelyn, Virginia Airport Commission members from Virginia. This item is still a topic we'll be discussing at the next Committee of the Whole. Ed Alto, our Public Works Director, requested to allow him to seek quotes for crushing material at our Northland demolition site. It was moved and supported to approve the request to seek quotes to obtain and crush material at the North Side demolition site.
I will move the request.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the request. Is there support?
I'll support.
Support by Councilor Paulson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We had a presentation from Paul Moe of People Service regarding an update to a replacement pump that they need for one of the digesters at the wastewater treatment plant. It was moved and supported to approve the purchase from Quality Flow Systems for a Vaughan pump for the primary digester in the amount of $9,350.
I'll move the approval of the pump.
Councilor Freely moves the approval of the purchase of, and support by Councilor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Fire Chief Lewis gave an update on the request for the memorandum of understanding regarding moving a single-role paramedic into a single-role EMT into a dual-role firefighter/EMT position. This will require an MOU between the city and Local 390. It was moved and supported to approve the memorandum of understanding with IAFF Local 390 for the promotion of single-role Lacey Sladen from the single-role EMT to a dual-role firefighter EMT with a timeframe to allow her to get her CPAT licensure, become a full paramedic.
Thank you.
I will move the memorandum of understanding.
Counselor Johnson moves the memorandum of understanding. Is there support? Support by Counselor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution for the hire of a single-role EMT, Juliana Gerlovich, on or after August 12th, 2020.
I will move the hiring.
Counselor Johnson moves to approve the hiring of the single-role EMT. Is there support? Support by Counselor Barnzelli. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to authorize the purchase of a police enterprise record system access agreement, to authorize entering into agreement with the police and enterprise record system access agreement with the city of Duluth at a cost of $13,488 per year.
I will move entering into the agreement with the city of Duluth.
Counselor Johnson moves the approval for the police enterprise record system agreement with the city of Duluth at a cost of $13,488 per year. Is there support? Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Just one quick note, this is a new records management system that we're moving away from the Shields program that we had agreement with the county. This is going to be a more comprehensive and easier to access record system. We still have some records through the Shield system, but this agreement is less than what the agreement we're paying with the county. So thank you. It's been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve to pay the invoice to Lakeland Investors in the amount of $12,463 for soil corrections on a city-owned lot in the industrial addition, contingent upon a signed release and waiver.
I will move the invoice, paying the invoice to Lakeland Investors.
Counselor Johnson moves to approve the payment to Lakeland Investors. Is there support? Is there support?
All support.
Support by Counselor Freelieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I have no further items.
Okay, thank you, Britt. We'll move to item 10, Commission Liaison Department Head Reports. Counselor Johnson, you have a report for the council and the general public.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Several months ago, there was a change order to be able to change the lights up on the cupola of City Hall to be able to not only save money, but to be able to do some light shows. And last Tuesday night, myself and Chris and Brian were here. Brian Silber, the Parks and Rec Director, were at City Hall. We are trained how to program it. It's not just flipping a switch. It's actually quite a complicated system to program it. And then we came back in the evening to get it lit. So I have a short presentation of just a couple of the literally thousands of things we can do with the cupola. So this is what that looks like from the ground, just lit up. Oh, let me get on the right keyboard here. Technology is not my friend tonight. There we go. Okay. So this is one of the examples of the lighting. Maybe. There it goes. So this is up on the roof, looking at what it looks like from the roof. And then,
Online now, it's finally here.
technology is not. Come on. There it goes.
All right. I'll buy you two, just one to grow on. Or a few, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
make the basketball team
There we go.
so they see me shoot, but
Not suck the basketball. I was just. Let me get
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
So those are just a few examples of what we're going to be able to do. We will probably need to come up with a policy for, which the state has for the I-35 bridge for organizations that may want it lit in their colors for an evening. We can also pre-program it for all 12 months for whatever we want to do, fall colors, school colors, all available. So really excited about this, and at some point we will have a grand unveiling, I think, maybe during Bridge Days when the food festival. So thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you, Councilor Johnson. Okay, any other council reports? Any other councilor have a report they'd like to give before we move on? Okay, we'll move to our city staff. Britt, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I'd like to happily report that by September 5th and 6th, we'll have our internet up and running, our new one, and our problems in the council chamber should be a lot less after
Well,
that.
that's
So,
fantastic.
yes,
Yes, that's,
yes.
no,
Thank you.
thank you. It was a long, arduous process
Yes.
moving forward, so
Yes, staff is still
that'll
working
be a welcome
diligently.
change.
Yes, it'll be great.
Thank you, thank you. Sherry, anything from finance? Any windfalls?
No, not yet.
Okay, thank you. Just a couple of things before we adjourn for this evening or this afternoon. Reminder, it's primary day. If you haven't voted, please consider going to the polls and voting. Is very important to exercise your right to vote. It makes a difference when you do. Tomorrow, there's going to be a bonding session again. The governor's called the legislature back, but don't look for any action by the legislature. This is just a formality. The month of August, the state sells bonds. They can't really have a bonding session during that period of time because it does have an adverse effect on how they sell the bonds to the state of Minnesota for other projects and issues. And so this will just be a formality. They'll call it to order, and then they will adjourn, and the governor will call another special session in September, at which time we hope that a bonding bill will be an agreement will be made, we'd have a bonding bill moving forward. So please be patient as we go through this legislative process. And then one other thing that's of concern, the city councilors all received an email from our fire chief, Alan Lewis, regarding one issue that's been really a problem for us for a long time, but not particularly during COVID-19. We have a US USAR team. We're a specially trained organization in the state of Minnesota, one of two, and we're in the north and there's one in the south. At any rate, there's money that's allocated annually. It's called the fire safety account, and 2% of your fire insurance premiums go to the state of Minnesota in a special account to be distributed to fire departments and EMS throughout the state of Minnesota in order to help, move their whatever they need to do with respect to advertising, safety issues, anything they have to do with their communication with the city or with the public with respect to fire safety. However, it was $4.28 million that was allocated this year. The city of Virginia didn't get one penny. Not one penny. Not unusual, but in this day and age, with our specially trained fire department and emergency ALS service, we should have received something. So, we have a letter that was sent by our fire chief, by approval from our administration, to send down to the director of the fire safety, called that commission, to see, what can be done and why we weren't allocated funding for that. So just want everybody to know that we're trying to address that issue and maybe find out why we didn't receive one penny of that $4.28 million that all went down to the metro. So that's a concern. Okay, anybody else have anything they'd like to bring up before we adjourn our council meeting? Hearing none, thank you, everybody. We will adjourn our council meeting to our next meeting, which is scheduled for Tuesday, August 25th, 5:30 p.m. here in the council chambers. Everybody be safe. We stand adjourned. Thank you.